After almost 2 weeks into the 2019-2020 NBA regular season, the Lakers and Sixers are off to amazing starts. With Philly being the last undefeated team, their size and depth will be key in trying to win the Eastern Conference. While the LeBron-AD combo is looking unstoppable, James Harden continues to put up weird crazy scoring numbers, which we'll get to very shortly. While the Knicks currently have the worst record at 1-6, not that many people are surprised by it. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Let's take a look at 5 of the weirdest NBA stat lines of the season so far. Starting with Russell Westbrook being at a horrendous awful -46 in the 29-point blowout loss to Miami. With his team not playing a single ounce of defense, they absolutely got obliterated and destroyed. Was a no-show from the beginning in South Beach, perhaps partying too much the night before. The -46 wasn't even the worst part, it was the fact that Westbrook played just 26 minutes, being -46. That's a terrible sign. Pretty much when he was on the floor, the team was outscored by 46 freaking points in just over one half, going an awful 3 of 11 from the field, 10 total points with 7 turnovers. Is unacceptable by any NBA All-Star caliber player standards. A personal career worst, and the worst by any Houston Rocket player in the game since 96-97 as far as the plus-minus stat information was established, shooting 25% from 3 this season. His defense has also been terrible, a recipe for disaster if he doesn't turn it around. If Russ would have played 52 minutes, he would have been a -92, not the start that he's looking for. While Boban Marjanovic of the Dallas Mavericks on the same night was on the bright side, was a +25 in 15 minutes of action. Another weird plus-minus stat, Andrew Wiggins was a -27 for the Timberwolves in his first game of the regular season, looked like a disaster in the first 3.5 quarters, but somehow scored 21 points, redeemed himself, and took over down the stretch in overtime, helping the Wolves beat the Nets 127-126. Despite his heroics, it's a miracle how his team won the game with him being a -27, playing a total of 36 minutes on 10 of 27 shooting, with his team being outscored by 27 points with him on the floor. You would have thought the Wolves gotten blown out, but he did make some big time shots. Was not looking like a top 100 player at first, but looked like it in the final minutes. It's not often you see many games from anyone like that where the box score was more complicated compared to the results of the game. None of the top 8 players on the Warriors from last season played in the team's 6th game of the regular season, and now currently with Draymond expected to be out for a couple games and Russell dealing with a sprained ankle, with the injuries to Curry, who missed at least 3 months, Klay will be out for a while, KD's now in Brooklyn, Draymond's hurt with a torn ligament on his finger, DeMarcus Cousins will be out for a while with an ACL injury. Now with the Lakers, Kevon Looney has a nerve condition that'll keep him out a couple games, Sean Livingston's retired, Andre Iguodala's trying to get out of Memphis. More than 50% of the rosters essentially not available. A dramatic turn of events for the regaining Western Conference champs, and to make matters worse, the Charlotte Hornets, who many believe are by far the worst team in the league, were actually a -3.5 point favorite last Saturday against Golden State and won the game by 6 points. The team started 3 rookies, a couple of them average NBA fans have never heard of. The most unexpected lineup we've seen in a while, not a good one for sure. Before the 2019 draft started, if you had to guess which team pulled up this starting 5, no one would have predicted the Warriors. Crazy how things can turn within a couple games, let alone Charlotte's starting 5 of PJ Washington, Miles Bridges, Cody Zeller, Terry Rozier, and Dwayne Bacon. They're currently 3-3 overall, number 6 in the East, and will enjoy it while it lasts. Karl-Anthony Towns, before his suspension and fight with Joel Embiid, Cat was playing out of his mind. Forget the fact that he was putting up 27.3 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 4 assists, but is number 1 in 3-pointers made per game at 4.5. Yes, that's more than Kyle Lowry and Damian Lillard. And that's not all. Cat is also number 3 in steals at 2.5 a game and has taken it to another level this season, shooting nearly 53% from downtown. That's only 10% worse from the line, where he's only shooting 63%. His motor and toughness is certainly there, while it was doubted, something that's been missing from the Wolves after the Jimmy Butler trade. Just 3 seasons ago, most GMs voted for Cat as the young rising star to build their team around for the future, and a year after, nobody voted for him, not one. He's always been a good mid-range shooter, and his threes are looking just as dangerous, definitely benefiting from Ryan Saunders' spread system, also becoming a better passer. The fact that he's making over 4 threes a game and up there in steals shows how dangerous he really is. James Harden averaging 35.3 points his first 6 games of the season is very impressive, of course, but the fact that he's shooting 37.1% from the field is almost shocking. His point average is nearly higher than his field goal percentage because he's going to the line nearly 15 times a game, helps him score his points. Shooting around 20% from 3, the NBA's leading scorer, became the first player in history to miss more than 50 threes total his first 5 games of the season. Shot 2 of 16 from 3 and still finished with 36 points. Very hard to explain that. Going 1 of 8, 2 of 18, followed by 3 of 14, 6 of 14 is pretty good. But then 2 of 16, you would think any player that would miss that many threes would have an off night, but because Harden's a master at drawing fouls, it keeps his numbers up. Another weird Harden stat, the 75% gap between his free throw shooting of nearly 96% and his 3-point percentage at 21.5%. It's likely the largest margin in the history of the NBA for anyone with at least 75 3-point attempts and 90 free throws attempted. His numbers are just wild and confusing on the box score. And the way he's playing now, he'll be on his way to missing the most threes in a single season. Also, how about Andre Drummond's numbers of 22.1 points, 18.7 rebounds? His first 7 games have been remarkable, to go along with 1.7 steals, 2.6 blocks, Defensive Player of the Year worthy numbers. But sadly, no one's gonna talk about him. His name will never get mentioned on talk shows like ESPN or FS1. Having 3 straight games of at least 20 and 20, also had 6 assists, 5 blocks, and 3 steals, numbers not seen since Hakeem Olajuwon in 1989. His 2025 block 5 assist game hasn't been done by a Pistons player since Bill Laimbeer in 1988. A guaranteed 12 rebound guy each and every night, the 26-year-old will be a free agent and will be a name to pay attention to. Statistically, one of the best big men in the game and will go down as by far the best rebounder of this generation. It's not even close at this point. Drummond's only been an all-star twice and likely forgotten if he doesn't sign with a contender. Honorable mentions includes the Knicks leading the entire league in offensive rebounding, which is a surprise most wouldn't expect, but since they miss a lot of shots, it makes more sense now that we think about it. Also, LeBron James and Luka Doncic make history, both put up over 30 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists. LeBron being the oldest player to do so at 34 years old, Doncic being the youngest player to accomplish that at 20 years old. Both playing in the same game, 2 days later, both of them recorded back-to-back triple-doubles, while Doncic became the youngest player to record back-to-back triple-doubles, scoring at least 25 a game. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.